Leicester City are relegated from the Premier League, Gab. It's crazy to think that they were champions just 7 years ago.
Crazy to think. But I think you can go and, when you have a failure like this, there's many reasons and so on. The blame needs to be shared around. I think there's some very obvious things going on here. One is they stuck with the previous manager for too long.
Yeah.
I know we like to joke about Dean Smith. He looks like the guy with the yellow bib that stands by the highway, you have to identify what was going wrong.
Yeah.
Under the previous boss. Secondly, they have the 7th or 8th highest wage bill in the Premier League. A lot of the moves that they made, I praised.
Yeah.
They took that money, they won. The owners invested money, they put in money, they tried to go to the next level. Built a new training ground, state of the art, this and that.
Yeah.
But a lot of the players, partly through injuries, partly through mismanagement, some bad calls as well, I think. And it all fell apart. I think it's definitely a cautionary tale. If the owners remain committed, I think they're coming straight back up because...
With Dean Smith, would you keep him?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I look at these relegated sides between them and Leeds, and I tell myself these are not championship teams. I see no reason, even without just even flexing a little bit of financial muscle, they're straight back up. They should be.
They
should be. It's not just Leicester and Leeds United, but 3 other illustrious former European greats are also down.
No.
Sampdoria in Serie A,
Yeah.
Schalke 04 in the Bundesliga, and Espanyol in La Liga. Jules, who will you miss the most?
I miss them all, Gabby. I miss them. I mean, I think, by the way, it's quickly, Espanyol drew Valencia, where the refereeing was shocking in that game. Absolutely shocking. I guess maybe I miss Espanyol the less of the. I miss Sampdoria for the shirt, for the derby with Genoa, who are coming back up, by the way. So they're doing the the crossover. I miss Schalke for the fans, of course, and for what they mean historically, and also they're quite funny because they're always a shambles. But it's a shame. And Leeds and Leicester, we mentioned Leicester before, and Leeds as well, and the Sam Allardyce experiment that went all wrong. It's always a shame, I think, when you see those big clubs going down. But this is what you deserve in many respects. This is what those clubs deserve, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think Sampdoria really emotional days. Marco Lanna coming out there, obviously former Sampdoria player, holding up Gianluca Vialli's shirt. There is some respite. It looks like they'll finally get a new owner after and I think I can say this.
Which is part of the problem as well.
After the crook Ferrero, I think I can say this when you've been found guilty of crimes. One of their owners looks like Andrea Rarizzani, who's, of course, Leeds,
owner,
could be taking over the club, although that remains to be seen now that Leeds are relegated. There may be some question about how easily he can get his money out. So I think they're going to come back. Schalke, like you said, ridiculous fans, tremendous fans.
Incredible.
Although I also kind of feel yo-yo club of late, badly run.
Yeah, for sure.
Espanyol is the one I feel from because a lot of this is down to the owners.
Yeah.
These are not good owners, again, and we need to take a long, hard look at who we allow to buy into football clubs. I'm not saying it's to be like the NFL where there's a commissioner and people vote and it's a big boys club, but there's got to be better safeguards in place. And of course, and they got screwed at the weekend as well.
They got,
as you said.
Yeah, they got done badly. Brighton lose to Aston Villa 2-1 at Villa Park, but they don't care. They're already, as we know, in the Europa League for next season. But Gab, how about Roberto De Zerbi saying that basically Alexis McAllister and Moises Caicedo are free to go, free to leave the club? Does that bother you?
No, I actually think, look, Brighton really are a grown-up club. They're not just a well-run club. They're a grown-up club. I find it, when people don't talk about this stuff, when they're like, oh, it's just speculation. We don't comment on speculation. No, just keep lying then, right? Again, I don't know if, as has been reported, McAllister and Caicedo have release clauses or whatever. But we saw Caicedo, of course, close to leaving in January. He came out and said, this is the club's policy, right? If we get the price we want for the players, we're not going to keep them in. We're not going to keep saying no, right? We think these guys have a fair value. We're going to sell them and we're going to replace them with other players who we think are going to be better and to keep us competitive. And this is the reality. Until we have equal resources, until we have a salary cap or whatever you want to call it, you're going to have clubs that, as we say in the US, are born on third base and think they've hit a triple, right? The resources, there's just a massive resource imbalance.
Yeah.
And this is what you have to compete. And to me, this is a bigger achievement than all those clubs and their silverware, show us your medals, blah, 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 the ambition thing. And so I'm sorry if I'm going on a rant, but it bugs the crap out of me. Same thing, like after the Mbappe saying like, oh, Mbappe's not ambitious because if he were ambitious, he would have moved on. Moved on to where? To where? To Man City? So he can win more silverware, like carrying Holland's jockstrap? What, to Madrid? Well, I mean, he'll go there eventually, maybe. But he actually wants to win a Champions League with Paris. That means more to him.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with it. I've really gotten to the point where all we're doing is just keeping score of who wins what. Guys, I'm all for that if it's fair. But you know what? As Leonard Cohen says, it's not fair. The war is over. The good guys lost. It's not fair. None of this is fair.
Yeah.
So if somebody wants to do it, celebrate it. And so if Brighton are going to be honest about it,
And
more power to them.
Exactly.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.